both for the wonderful presentations. I had a question for Dr. Sroush. You began by stating that Islam it's misleading to confine it into a single rubric. Rather, it is a series of interpretation. Don't you see a danger in that when you are given such an open-ended realm of understanding, that bin Ladens can emerge as well as people like you? So how do you, what's the danger in that, and what is the future of that definition?
So what are you going to prevent? Emerging of me or emerging of bin Laden?
That's the catch-20 here, I don't know, catch-22.
Well, both comes together. Honestly, I would say that I am not going to decree that there must be a plurality of interpretation. It is a fact of history. I am just describing, I'm just reporting. When you look back at the history of interpretation, not only in Islam, but also in Christianity, all other religions, for that matter, even in non-divine ideologies, let us say Marxism, for example, you will see that everywhere you encounter a different interpretation. And I am not endorsing all of those interpretations, of course, but this is how how human, knowledge develops. You put forward your own understanding, I put forward my understanding, and then we have got a community of scholars, a community of knowledgeable people, and they will decide. And eventually, in a Darwinian way, the best ideas will survive, and the bad ones and the false ones will die out. This is how it is. And I don't think that anybody can command anybody else in order to say what to say and what not to say. Look at, for example, Sunnis and Shi'is, Paul mentioned here. My gloss on that is these two are two very gross, different interpretations of Islam, right from the beginning. We had an interpretation which I call it Sunni interpretation, and another one which we call it Shi'i interpretation. And you see that they are there, for 1400 years, and I don't think that they are going to die, very soon. So they will, remain. And of course, there are many, many small subdivisions inside both of them. So this is a fact of history, and it actually invites us to endeavor and to strive more in order to find the truth. As much as our possibility and our ability, can tell us and can make us achieve. And that is the whole thing. I don't find any way out from this plurality of interpretations.
I might just add to that, the issue isn't perhaps religious authority per se. It's always going to be contested between a learned elite and alternative readings of the religion. But I think what Sroush said is right, is that if the tradition is protected, the divine human tradition, if that's protected, then you won't have bin Ladens. You'll have a plurality of interpretation, but I think bin Laden is a product of a disconnect with the tradition, and you see that, in fact,